fairly weak. That they were trying to limit the number of people that would get out, and so there was coordination problems.
Joe, I'm gonna cut you. I'm already weak. I'm already low on time, Joe. Cut him off, please. Cut him off now. Cut him off now. You're not going to blame this on President Trump on my show.
Hey, folks, I'm Tennessee Brando, and you're watching MeidasTouch. Now, we've already determined here on the network that Republicans have no bottom. There's absolutely no low they won't go to. There is absolutely no dirty trick that they will not pull out of their hat. Republicans are like the ultimate bad guy wrestler who will absolutely break every rule, not only when the referee isn't looking, but will just do it right in his face. I remember back in the day, there used to be a wrestler named Abdullah the Butcher. And this guy didn't wait for the referee to look away. This guy would pull a fork out of his trunks and go to beating the guy in the head with it, the referee waving his arms, and he would throw the referee out of the ring. And that's where we're at with the Republican Party. That's where we're at with MAGA. They're to the Abdullah the Butcher phase at this point. This clip here I'm going to show you is from Newsmax, and it's extremely disgusting. The host actually shuts down a veteran. The veteran is trying to come back and make a point, and this host goes so far as to cut him completely off, and then go on to berate him. Then go on to berate and talk about how no one is going to come on his show, and how dare the man dare come on his show and try to put any blame on President Trump. It's pretty disgusting, but I think we're getting used to that being their stick, so let's roll that clip.
I can tell you this didn't happen under President Trump, and I know there's a lot of people on the left that want to try to blame President Trump. He wanted out of Afghanistan real bad. He was real frustrated not being able to get out, but he didn't pull out because he knew this would happen. In fact, we all did. I called it on this program. My 12-year-old son knew about it, and so I've got Americans there that are stuck. To me, that's a hostage situation. But, Joe, I appreciate you working to get them out. I really do, and I wish you all luck in the world.
With due respect, thank you with due respect, Grant, I mean, like, veterans, you know, being one, right, and our friends are over there. Right. We followed this closely for multiple administrations, and we know the Trump's administration's efforts here were fairly weak. That they were trying to limit the number of people that would get out, and so there was coordination problems.
Joe, I'm gonna cut you. I'm already weak. I'm already low on time, Joe. Cut him off, please. Cut him off now. Cut him off now. You're not going to blame this on President Trump on my show. That's not happening. Now, I appreciate the work that you're doing. God bless you for being a veteran. God bless you for trying to get Americans out. But don't come on this program and take the talking points of the left and blame President Trump. That's not helping anybody. The Biden administration screwed this up from the very start. You know it. I know it. The country knows it. And to call them not hostages, I don't know how you don't call them hostages. They're stuck in Afghanistan with a country overrun with terrorists that are willing to kill them all. I'm mad about that, man. I really am. All right. We're going to slow it down because we've got a real hero coming up. That man's a real hero, too. He served.
So, you know, the first thought that went through my head when I watched that clip, I thought to myself, wait a minute. I thought the Republican Party was supposed to be the party of support the troops. I thought they were supposed to be the party that was respectful toward veterans. That's been their shtick for years. And yet here they are. They will turn a blind eye to this. They will say it's no big deal. That man should have never said nothing about President Trump. So, yeah, by all means, kick him off the show. But, you know, as far back as I can remember, the Republican Party has always been very patriotic. You know, my memory picks up in the 80s when Ronald Reagan was president. I remember Ronald Reagan being a very patriotic president. I remember there being a lot of flag waving. And I remember when I was a kid going to school, if we had any sort of Veterans Day celebration, I remember being taught to be very respectful and honorable toward the veterans, and rightfully so. The town I grew up in was a very Bible Belt town, and I'm sure that most of the faculty and staff at that school was conservative and Republican-leaning people. You know, and I know for a fact that if any of us kids had said anything disrespectful about any of the veterans, we would have been sent to the principal's office and berated forever. But yet here we are. They'll turn a blind eye to that because what we've learned is that if they can find a way to demonize the left in any way, shape, or form, they'll do it, and then they'll turn a blind eye when their side does something. Do you remember back when Obama came down off the plane and he didn't salute the troop? Do you remember how long they went off about that, how Obama had no respect for the troops whatsoever? And how about the time the soldier held the umbrella for Obama while it rained? We could go back and show them footage of soldiers holding the umbrella for every other president, but when Obama did it, oh, Obama is the worst president ever. Oh my God, he has no respect for the troops. Look at these evil liberals and their blatant disrespect for the soldiers. And then along comes Donald Trump. And Donald Trump starts talking about John McCain. And Donald Trump starts talking about is asked about John McCain being a prisoner of war. And what does he say? Well, I like veterans who didn't get caught. I like soldiers who didn't become prisoners of war. He actually insinuated that John McCain was less of a soldier because he was captured. And they completely turned a blind eye to it. I remember when that happened, I thought, oh, this is it. This has to be it. How many times over the years, especially when Trump was first coming up, how many times did you see him when he mocked the disabled reporter? We all thought that was it. But I can tell you, when he said that about John McCain, I thought, okay, here comes the Republicans. They're all going to swarm on him because they don't believe in being disrespectful to a veteran. But they allowed him to not only be disrespectful to a veteran, they allowed him to be disrespectful to one who was captured and tortured, and that was perfectly okay. And then Donald Trump goes on to call all the veterans in the cemetery, all the dead soldiers, he calls them losers. And they let that roll right off their shoulder. Because what we have learned is that if it's us walking by and not saluting a troop, or if it's a tradition that a soldier holds an umbrella, we're the worst people in the world. But they can say all that and get away with it. And you want to know why? Because at the end of the day, soldiers and this whole support the troops is nothing more than stage props to the Republican Party. Soldiers and veterans are stage props. Support the troops is a catchphrase. They don't believe in any of it. Because anytime they've ever had a bill that could have helped the veterans, they always vote against that. They always slap that stuff down. They only stand up and praise veterans when it suits their agenda and when they can try to find a way to demonize us. But what we've learned is they have no bottom, and what we've learned is that all these things are nothing more than stage props and gimmicks to them. This is their political theater, and they're going to use these things. When it's convenient to use soldiers as a stage prop, they'll use them. When it's convenient to use children as stage props, they'll use them. But they're not always there for the children. They'll scream, protect the children when it comes to a drag queen, and when it comes to an AR-15, well, kids, you're on your own. That's where we're at. We've said before that they have no bottom, but that they have no low they won't go to, and they don't. And they do not care that that man was disrespectful to that veteran. They don't care. Because, you know why? Because that veteran was about to be disrespectful to Donald Trump. And that's the one thing they will not allow. You do not talk down to their president. They get so mad. They get so mad when people like us says, you're in a cult. But you're in a cult if you can never call out your leader. And over the years, we have saw Donald Trump give countless reasons to call him out, and they won't do it, even when it goes against everything they supposedly stand for. You know, if I was in a group of people, I'm just saying, if I was in a group of people and one of our main shticks was we have to be respectful to veterans, and that's the party we are, and then someone made a comment like that, or I saw it, I would be saying, hey, whoa, wait a minute, that's not what we believe in. But we've learned that consistency just isn't MAGA's bag. If the only thing they're consistent at is being horrible people. That was a disgusting clip, and like I said, we're always going to have plenty of those to show you because they have no bottom and there's no low they won't go to. As long as it suits their agenda, they'll be disrespectful to anybody they have to be, and they will walk on anybody they have to be. We're to the point now, folks, where, did y'all ever see the fight with Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson where Tyson bit Holyfield's ear? Yeah, that's where we're at. Once Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, it was no longer a boxing match. It was a fight. At that point, it's a good thing that there was people that came in and broke that all up. But at that particular point, when his ear got bit, Holyfield was in a fight. MAGA is biting our ears, folks. That's where we're at. So we're going to be in a fight for our life from here on out, trying to call out this stupidity and this blatant, disrespect. But that's what we're here for. That's what we're going to keep doing. So you guys be sure to keep tuning in here on MeidasTouch. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to share these videos around and let everyone know about MeidasTouch, best news network in the country. I say that with no shame. So you guys keep tuning in here on MeidasTouch, and old Tennessee Brando will keep trying to tell you the truth.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.